Hello everyone, thank you for joining me tonight. This is a quick one tonight. I've got a bunch of foil in my office and it's all meant to be hot foil. It is either the big large roll you can see there on the left is meant to be used with hot foil plates, and the skinnier rolls is meant to be used with either using a printer and the special kind of ink that you use with the printer, or using some embossing ink. Now, I decided I wanted to just use it. I didn't want to have to use the heat. So I'm just getting out my double-sided sticky sheets. All these foils are from Alina's shop on AliExpress, by the way. And my sticky paper is from her shop. The dies are also from her shop. I'll do my best to link them down below if I can find them for you. So I'm cutting out this foliage. I just thought it would be really cool to make a background out of the foil and the foliage. So I just ran it through my Big Shot. It may or may not die cut through both your bits of adhesive paper. So you have your release sheet on the front and the back, and it may not die cut all the way through, but it will definitely die cut through one layer and this sticky adhesive. So all I've done is die cut them out. You can see all the detailing there on the dies. That does come through with the foil as well, which is really fun. I am peeling off one side of the release paper and sticking the other one down onto my paper. So all I've got left on my piece of card is just the sticky adhesive. Now I'm taking my transfer foil. This works with both kinds of foil, so you don't have to have a non-heat foil if you can only ever find heat transfer foil. It works perfectly fine with heat transfer foil. So I am rubbing it on with my finger quite firmly, and I would use the bone folder, but I found that it shifted my sheets of foil and gave me kind of a bumpy look. So you can see there a lot of the detail comes through. Now when you're peeling off the release paper, you do need to be very careful because it is very, very thin tape. So the double-sided tape is very thin, so I'm trying my hardest not to touch any bits of it other than the very ends that are going to hang off my card. So I'm just creating a nice little background. I'm kind of coming off the edge of my card and then trimming away any excess. I've got my Tim Holtz scissors, and they are a sort of sticky resistant pair of scissors, so it's really nice because you can use them on quite sticky surfaces and it doesn't tend to stick to them. So that's what I'm using there. And again, I'm rubbing quite firm with my finger. When I go to lift it up, if it sticks at all, I just rub it again a bit harder and carry on lifting it up. So really simple and easy. The most difficult bit is getting the release paper off of the sticky stuff. So because you've got the two sheets or two sides of your double-sided sticky, and your sticky is very thin, it makes it really difficult at times to have, well, I feel like sometimes I've got like fat fingers. I just can't seem to do it. So that's probably the most difficult bit of this whole thing, is peeling that release paper off and trying not to touch all of the sticky area with my fingers. So again, I'm just lifting up that release sheet and then applying some foil. I'm just using the same sheet of foil until I run out of that foil. Now, if you get to a point where it's still sticky and that foil hasn't completely covered, you just go in again with your foil and go over top of it. And as you can see, it lifts up some of the foil off that paper and sticks it down. So it's really nice because you can just carry on sticking more on if it's missed a bit, or if you haven't got enough, if the sticky's kind of coming through, you just put more on. So that's a really nice little trick and tip you can do. So all I've done here is just filled in my background kind of coming from the sides, and I've sort of chopped and trimmed a few of them to kind of fit, and just trimmed off the edges where my fingers were touching, where I may have lifted the adhesive off, and then put my foil down. And we get this beautiful background when we're done that is just gorgeous and has this metallic finish. You could do this with die cuts. You could die cut it, put the sticky adhesive sheets onto a die cut, and then do it that way. But I wanted a really flat card. I wanted it to look like I hot foiled it when I actually have not hot foiled it. So this is a standard A6 piece of card, so I'm going to trim it down so that it will fit on top of my normal card, but have a nice little border going around the outside edge. I decided I wanted to add on some foil behind my card to kind of highlight it. So I'm just trimming off a bit from each of the edges. I've marked on my paper trimmer with a bit of pencil, so I know exactly where I need to trim, and so that really helps me out when I'm wanting to make a card front and I want to have it a bit smaller so I can have a layer. So I've got this kind of gunmetal almost. It's like a dirty silver colored bit of foil card. And I am just going to, I did gone and adhered my top panel to that, and now I'm just gluing the both panels to my card base. And so I've got a little bit of a border all the way around all sides between each layer. I really like that look. I feel like it gives a bit more character to the card. I've got this set of dies from Alina's shop. They are shadow dies, so you get the word and you get the shadow to go behind it. And I've decided to go with the word hi. And I have this stamp set that I purchased from, I think, scrapbook.com. And it says hello on it, and it has a whole bunch of sentiments that kind of go with hello. So I thought this would work with the hi as well. I've die cut the shadow out in vellum, but I have put a piece of that sticky back adhesive, the double-sided adhesive sheets, onto my vellum so that the whole entire piece of vellum is nice and adhesive. And then I've gone ahead and glued my word hi together, and I've stacked it 3 times with plain white cardstock. Now I'm going to come in with my sentiment. At first I decided to go with black on white, which says from me to you. And once I trimmed it out and stuck it on my card, I kind of thought it sort of blended in a bit too much for me. It didn't really pop. So here you can see I'm taking the release sheet off the back of my vellum. And the reason I do this is so that my vellum can stick nice and I don't see any of the adhesive poking out from under it. And it also just sticks down really quick and easy. But I stuck it on and it just looked too washed. So I went ahead and stamped it on black cardstock using Alina's white embossing powder. And I thought that looked a lot better and it kind of popped a bit more from the card. I've got some double-sided foam tape here, which is really nice and thin, and I am just applying a layer onto the back of that little sentiment so I can stick it right underneath the hi. And then to finish off my card, I'm just going to come in with some Nouveau drops. And these Nouveau drops I've got are a vintage kind of drop, so they dry matte. They're a matte finish. They don't dry shiny at all. So you'll see in the photos, they do look a bit matte. And I just kind of stick those all around and that finishes off the card. So a really quick and simple, easy card for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back again on Saturday for some more crafting fun. I've also got another little video I want to pop in at some point of some things I've been purchasing. So keep your eyes open for that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.